watching Thrifty Kaniffy.
Hello everyone and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Well, today we're going to be doing a review of an old-time Gunstock Trapper. But before we get into the review, I want to give a quick shout out to Randy's WSG. Randy's WSG stands for Wasteland Survival Guide. He's got not a new channel, but a channel new to knives in the last couple of months. He's been doing some survival gear things and even some coin-related content, but now he's been getting in more to the traditional knives, and so he's been doing reviews of that stuff for the last couple of months. And we decided to do a sticker swap here, so shout out to Randy for sending these along to me, and I hope he enjoyed the stickers he received from me as well. But yeah, if you haven't already, go subscribe to Randy over his channel and check out his knife reviews. Alright, so let's get into the review. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. Now, this knife was brought to us by American Outdoor Brands for review. So I did not pay for this knife. It was sent to me by American Outdoor Brands, but that is not going to affect the honesty of my review, so you should not worry about that. You have a line diagram here. It gives you some specifications. Quick look at the overall packaging. It's kind of interesting they've gone to this window packaging. They were normally just in the boxes, so I don't know, maybe they're doing both, where they have the windows packaging for some retail stores. As you can see, there's a little hang tag there, so maybe they're doing both. But anyway, interesting to see that on what used to just be on the Heritage series. But here we have the Gunstock Trapper, and it's 3 3/4 inches closed length. You've got the bone handles on this one, and the Gunstock bone pattern is a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit of a misnomer for me. I don't really associate this style of trapper with the Gunstock, but I guess technically you could say it is. It does broaden here at the edge here, but I've just, I guess, been more used to the standard type Gunstock where it's more of a geometric shape, more straight across than downward angle. But I'm not going to argue that semantics. You could call it a Gunstock if you would like, but this just, to me, looks more like a normal trapper. But you got, again, the 3 3/4 inch length, the sawcut bone handle here. This is real bone. And you can see the nice cutting in there. The grooves are nice and defined. You don't have any like clogged up spaces along the length of the knife like you do on some of the standard ones. You've got a more immediate transition to the white on these handles, so I don't know if that came along with the new hexagon shield, that they've changed the handle shading a little bit here, like the dye on there or something, but it does look a little different from the other bone knives that I've gotten that have a more gradual transition to the white. But it's still attractive nonetheless, and you can see some speckling in it here and here. You get the nickel silver bolsters on either end with the one ring there on either side. Hexagonal shield, just says old timer, established 1958. Now I believe that to be nickel silver, but it's very well inlaid. You've got good transitions to the bolsters here from the handle material to the bolsters. Don't feel any stepping there. That pin is just super smooth. Don't feel anything there. The shield is well inlaid, nice and flat. You got the proud pin here, but that's intentional. And then again, that ramps down, and you've got that pin super smooth as well. And again, to the butt end bolster there. So everything seems to be pretty smooth along the handle. The edges are just a little bit sharp. I wouldn't say they're bad. I just feel like they could be improved on slightly with a little bit of touching up. And you've got some brass liners here and stainless springs, and everything looks to be mated up really well. I'm not really seeing any gaps there. There's just a bit of stepping here at the top. You can sort of see a little bit of a catch there where my finger hits it. And for being super picky, you can kind of feel the springs recessed into the liners a little bit in the closed position just here, maybe about the last inch towards the pivot end, but then they smooth out where you don't feel them at all. So that's being pretty picky. But the overall finish there is awesome. I don't see any gaps. The handles are really well constructed on there. No gaps in the between the springs. So super job on the construction there. And look at the top-down view. You've got the liner separating the two blades. And we've got a clip point in the front, the master blade, and then the Spey secondary blade. So let's look at the Spey blade first. So again, I think most people know I'm not a massive fan of this particular type of Spey blade. Just not an attractive shape to me, but nonetheless, it does have a very good edge on it. And a nice clean nail neck there with the match strike pull. And I think that the edge grind is done really well on this one. Nothing on the tang for the secondary blade. Mirror finish, 9CR18 mauve steel is what we're looking at on these. And there's a look at the other blade edge. Looks pretty clean to me, looks pretty consistent. Feels pretty sharp. So I'm gonna say that that one's pretty well done. Got about a 6 pull on it, maybe a little lighter than I like, but not much. Do have some pretty positive lock up there at the end, and it does have a nice stamp on the close. So the walk and talk's pretty decent. Maybe just be a little firmer, but that's just a minor pick there. I think it's plenty safe to use. And we've got a good feel in the hand with that. A little bit of a hot spot up there at the top, maybe around your forefinger if you're really gripping down on that, but that's to be expected when the blade's exposed out the top there. But overall pretty comfortable. You can see that I'm gripping that down pretty tight, and I've still got just a touch left on the handle there at my pinky. Medium to large size hand, so should fit most guys' hands, I would imagine. But yeah, pretty attractive overall there. I have to say that the handles match well, and there's no inconsistency in the color on each side. And again, the finish on this side, pretty much identical to the front. Really don't have any issues with anything proud or anything. Let's take a measurement of that Spey blade. Spey is 3 1/8 inch to the tang, and then a cutting edge just slightly over 3.5 inches. Let's call it 3 5/8. Excuse me, 2 5/8. 2 5/8. So 3 1/8 and then 2 5/8. Quite a large tang on it, so pretty good difference in the overall length and the cutting edge. But, all right, so let's look at the clip blade. Clip point blade, very attractive Skinner type blade for a trapper. That makes a lot of sense. There's your cutting edge on the other side. And the model number, this is the back here, 94OTB. And if we look at the front, get the nail neck right there in the middle of the blade with the match strike style. Now that's something that they offer on the bone only. Normally you have a normal style on the standard. You get the normal nail neck on the standard type old timer, but this bone series you get the match strike. There's a look at your blade edge. And I think that's a pretty attractive little blade there. There's your tang stamp, old timer. And you got a date code there, 10/22, so October of 22 it looks like. Much like the Skinner blade, or the Spey blade, you have a pull of 6, I'd say. Again, positive close and open, good snap. Could be just a touch firmer. Again, with the grip, same issue as before, except now your hot spot's a little further down here. A little more comfortable at the front. I'd say this overall is more comfortable than the other situation with the other blade open. So overall, just your typical type trapper. I don't know, again, if I'd call it a gunstock. This is very reminiscent to me of other, trappers that are just called trappers, like by Case and others, Rough Rider, etc. But in any case, fit and finish is pretty good. You do have a little bit of 90-degrees up here at the front. I think just a little bit of extra finishing would probably help this knife a little bit. But again, this knife is about $21.30 on Amazon. If we check the interior of the liners, yeah, again, a little bit edgy. That could be rounded over a little bit, make this a little more comfortable knife, but that's kind of to be expected. You just don't have that extra finishing done to all the edges and things on the more budget-friendly knives. That's just something to expect. But overall, I like the knife. Just not a fan of the Spey blade, and that would be the reason why I might not put it into my collection. But for those that don't mind that blade, well, then I think that you've got a really fine trapper here at $21.30. Again, 9CR18 blades, bone handles, pretty good value in my opinion. But that's going to do it for my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell to be made aware of videos when they drop. We'll see you next time. Take care.